What's up, gals and pals? I'm Coach Vino. This is the Progress Bar. And if you guys are anything like me, at some point in your cocktail journey, you picked up a bottle of Midori. Now, if you don't know what Midori is a liqueur that uses Japanese melons and is most famously used in the Midori Sour. Now, I've actually got a video on this channel where I make two versions of the Midori Sour. One of them is the old nightclub version that I drank back in my youth, back when I was at the nightclubs. And the other version is an improved version that I created that I think is absolutely delicious. So you guys go ahead and check out that video. So like I said, Midori was very popular back in the 80s and the 90s, specifically for the Midori Sour. But one of the problems is when you buy this stuff, half the time you run out of, you get tired of drinking Midori Sours and you're like, what the hell else do I make with this? And you throw it in your bar, it starts to collect dust and you forget all about it. Well, today I'm gonna have you guys dust off your bottle, just like I did. And we're gonna make 3 cocktails using Midori. 2 of them I've never had before, but they look really, really interesting. And one of them is a Coach Vino original that I've made before, and I think you guys will absolutely love it, all right, folks? But before we do that, I'm gonna need you guys to do me a favor and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can help Vino feed the hungry algorithm. And make sure you stick around, because we're about to boogie down. All right, so the first Midori cocktail we're gonna make is called the Basic Beach. And I really like this play on words because it's a tiki cocktail. All right, so this recipe can be found in the Minimalist Tiki book. Let us look at what is in the sauce. The first thing we're gonna need is 3/4 ounce of Midori. All right, folks. I keep getting this thing where I'm gonna say Midori Sour because it's like the only thing people make with this, so I feel like I'm supposed to say Midori Sour. So when I say Midori Sour, I mean Midori, right, guys? Next thing we're gonna need is 3/4 ounce of Banana Liqueur. I'm gonna be using my homemade Banana Liqueur, but you should feel free to use whatever you guys have at home. And if you want Vino to show you how I make my Banana Liqueur, let me know down in the comment section, all right? Next, we're gonna need 3/4 ounce of a Puerto Rican light rum. I'm gonna be using my favorite, Don Q. This is by far the best white liqueur from Puerto Rico, all right? And then we're gonna do 3/4 ounce of lime juice, all right? So I got my super lime here, all right? And then last but not least, 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice. I'm gonna be using the canned stuff, freshly squeezed out of a can. But if you got the fresh press, God bless you. All right, so now we're just gonna add some ice to our shaker. I'm gonna shake that for about 10 to 15 seconds. All right, folks, I think we shook this bad boy up enough. I'm gonna get my glass out, which I've had chilling like a villain. You see the nice condensation on that. We're gonna be serving that in a hurricane glass. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna do a dirty dump right into the glass. All right, there you go. You got your neon green there. All right, and then I'm going to take some crushed ice and I'm gonna top this bad boy off with some crushed ice. All right, there you go. Absolutely beautiful. And then I'm just gonna garnish that with a pineapple frond. There you go, we got a little spillage there, but that's all right. It'll look sexy in the picture. All right, folks, there we got it, our basic beach cocktail. All right, so before we get into our second Midori cocktail, let's go ahead and give our basic beach a sippy sip. Cheers. Oh, that is super delish. Oh yeah, baby. I feel like such a basic beach. This is really good. The Midori actually works really well. The thing about Midori, and I think part of the problem why it's not very popular in other cocktails is because it can be quite cloying, very sweet and overpowering. But in this cocktail, you're definitely picking it up, and it works super good with all the other flavors. I think the pineapple juice and the Midori are working really super good together. This is very delicious, guys. Really enjoying this. Oh yeah, that's a nice summer sipper. Great beach cocktail, barbecue cocktail. And if you got some Midori, you got some friends coming over and you want to get rid of this stuff, this is a great way to do it, folks, all right? Now, let's go ahead and get into our next cocktail. And this one is called the Shogun Assassin. And this recipe was actually created by the Midori company. So let us look at what is in the sauce for our Shogun Assassin. The first thing we're gonna need is 1 ounce of Midori. All right, I gotta tell you guys, I'm really impressed with this beach cocktail here. I think it's actually very delicious, a fun cocktail. And now we're gonna need 1 ounce of sake. So this is fun. So it looks like we have ourselves a very Japanese cocktail here, okay? But of course, there's always gotta be a twist, right? We're gonna do a 1/2 ounce of Green Chartreuse. Now this, my friends, made me super intrigued about this cocktail because Green Chartreuse should not be in any recipe that has something like, you know, Midori, right? I mean, at least you would think if you're being a little bit snobby about things, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna see how this all works together. And then we're gonna need a 1/2 ounce of a lemon juice. All right, I got my super lemon juice, all right? All right, and here's the little fun ingredient, okay? Now, the recipe actually calls for a whole, you know, gut to gut a whole passion fruit. I couldn't find a whole passion fruit, but I couldn't find a passion fruit, period, not even a half a passion fruit. But a passion fruit has about 1 ounce of pulp inside of it, so I just took 1 ounce of, you know, a frozen passion fruit puree, and I'm going to use that, all right, guys? But if you can find a passion fruit, go for it. I could not find one anywhere I looked, all right? So we're going to do 1 ounce of passion fruit puree. All right, there you go. And now I'm going to go ahead and add some ice to my shaker. And we're going to shake that for about 10 to 15 seconds. All right, folks, I think we shook that bad boy up enough. All right, so let's go ahead and get our glass out. I'm going to be serving that in a coupe. And I'm just going to, actually, I'm not even going to double strain this. In the original cocktail, they actually want you to have the pulp seeds in there. You know, I don't have seeds obviously in this one, so I'm just going to do a free strain, and whatever little bits of pulp get in there, you know, great. All right, there we go. Again, you always get an interesting color with Midori. Here we go. That looks quite nice. All right, folks, and I'm not going to go ahead and garnish that. There was no garnish. The garnish was actually those seeds, but again, we're not using actual pulp here, right, folks? So there we have it, our Shogun Assassin. All right, so before we get into our final Midori cocktail, let's go ahead and give our Shogun Assassin a sippy sip. Cheers. Oh, that's a nice little cocktail, guys. Oh, wow, that Green Chartreuse snuck up on me there, guys. It snuck up on me. Oh, that's nice. Funny enough, I gotta be honest, the Midori actually gets lost, which is not something I ever thought I'd say about a Midori cocktail. It gets lost a bit. It does add some of that kind of sweet, syrupy texture to the cocktail, but what's really happening here is that the chartreuse and the pulp, the passion fruit pulp, the fresh, tart kind of bitterness that's coming from that really works so well together. This is a nice little cocktail. And the viscosity that's coming out of using actual pulp, the puree, whatever you want to call it, really nice. Oh yeah, that's nice. All right, so we're 2 for 2, and I know I love my cocktails, so we're gonna be 3 for 3, folks, on Midori Day. Right, folks? So the next cocktail I'm making for you guys is called the Irishman. Now, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll know I made this cocktail for St. Patrick's Day. All right, folks, let us look at what is in the sauce for our Irishman cocktail, right? The first thing we're gonna need is 1 ounce of our Midori. All right, folks, so Midori has been quite the hit today, so I'm very excited to share this with you guys because this is gonna be 3 for 3, 3 delicious cocktails, all right? Now we need a 1/2 ounce of Irish whiskey. I'm gonna be using Tullamore Dew, and this specific one is the Tullamore Dew Caribbean Cask, which is absolutely delicious, all right, guys? Then we're gonna need a 1/2 ounce of a Jamaican rum, and now I'm gonna be using Appleton 8, which is one of my favorite Jamaican rums. You guys know I like Smith & Cross, but it's a little bit much for this cocktail. All right, then we're gonna need a 1/2 ounce of a quality coconut rum. I'm gonna be using my homemade coconut rum, but you can use whatever you guys have. One of my favorites is Shipwreck, but I'm gonna be using mine. Now, if you want me to show you how I make my coconut rum, let me know down in the comments, all right? Next thing we're gonna need is a 1/2 ounce of lime juice, all right, folks? I got my super juice, all right? And then we're gonna go ahead and add some ice to our shaker. And we're gonna shake that for about 10 to 15 seconds. All right, folks, I think we shook this bad boy up enough. I'm gonna go ahead and serve that in a rocks glass, which I've had chilling like a villain. Let's go ahead and pour it in. All right, we got that beautiful green hue, which was perfect when I was making it for St. Patrick's Day. And turns out it's also a delicious cocktail. All right. And then we're just gonna fill this up with some crushed ice, which I've got right here in my Louis bag. All right. Fill that bad boy right to the top. All right, there we go. All right, folks, now we're just gonna go ahead and garnish that with a pineapple frond. All right, and a little lime wheel, dehydrated lime wheel. And there we have it, folks, our Irishman cocktail. All right, folks, let's go ahead and give our Irishman cocktail a sippy sip. Cheers. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. That is so damn good. This cocktail is really gonna work best if you have a quality coconut rum, because the coconut flavor is what's really gonna help balance the melon flavor in this cocktail, okay, folks? So what I found actually in making these three cocktails is that melon liqueur obviously is a tropical fruit, and it works really great when you add in another tropical fruit. So the pineapple in this one, the passion fruit in this one, and then the coconut in this one. Oh yeah. So these are really just absolutely delicious tropical cocktails, great summer cocktails, and great ways to use that Midori that's probably just sitting on your shelf. Now you may have another type of melon liqueur. There's other companies that make melon liqueurs that are quite similar to Midori, so you can definitely use those bottles in these recipes as well. But either one of these I think are gonna be fantastic. I think you're absolutely gonna enjoy them. If you're a fan of tiki cocktails, tropical cocktails, if you're a fan of Midori Sour, if you're a fan of just fun, delicious cocktails, bright, sweet, and vibrant, you're gonna enjoy these, right, folks? Look, if you like this video, please press like, please subscribe, and please share with your family and friends. Remember, sharing is caring, and when life gives you lemons, make yourself a cocktail. Cheers.